Welcome to the video. My name is Matt Potts of AgilityWorks. We're going to be taking a look at how we can consume HANA views in reporting tools such as Business Objects version 4. So before we move into the system demos, this slide shows us the different reporting tools that we can use with SAP HANA. We've got some tools that allow us to connect directly. Those are over on the left hand side. All of the tools in orange are Business Objects tools. We're going to be taking a look at visual intelligence from that particular set. And then over on the right, we've got some other Business Objects tools, Webby dashboards and Crystal reports for enterprise. In order to connect those into SAP HANA, we have to go through the semantic layer, the universe layer. And out of those tools, we'll be taking a look at Webby and dashboards. But first of all, let's have a look at how we actually build that universe first of all. So just before we go on and have a look at the universe, which we'll then eventually create a web intelligence report on and discuss how that also works with dashboards, let's just talk about the scenario we're working with in SAP HANA. So we're working around our sales order items as our source data. We've loaded the table from SAP ERP via data services into SAP HANA. So it's the VBAP table, the sales order items. We've got over 20 million records in the HANA database table. We don't report directly on the table itself. We create an analytic view which takes key fields from that table and is linked then out to these things here, which are attribute views, and these are modeled master data views to create a modeled scenario where we're joining together transactional data and master data. Whenever we activate the analytic view in SAP HANA, in the sys-BIC schema in the system, it creates us a column view, so a single view of all of those joined views. And if we just scroll down, we'll just be able to find our column view that we're going to work with in the universe, which we'll just have a look at in a second. So in the information design tool, our universe consists of three different resources. The first thing we have is a relational connection into the SAP HANA system, which in this case is using a JDBC driver. We then have the data foundation. We just bring across that single column view, which already in the HANA system has different modeling sat behind it. There's nothing further we need to do in the data foundation within the information design tool. Just bring across the column view, nothing further to do here. We then consume that data foundation in the business layer, which we then pick out the fields from that column view in SAP HANA, which is derived off the back of the analytic view. And then we pick the fields we want to work with, organize them in the folder structures, and then we have our business list of fields to build the reports on top of. So typical things we expect to see in the business objects universe, the things like the dimensions and the measures. So once we've built those three resources, which are all linked together, we then publish the business layer back to the business objects platform on the server, the repository, and that then binds them all together and creates a universe object, and then that's the object which we actually create our Webby reports or dashboard queries on top of. So now moving on to web intelligence, I want to create myself a new Webby report on top of the sales reporting universe that we just saw in the information design tool. So I'll see the list of fields in the universe from that business layer, and in my case I'd like to pick the year and also the order quantity and the net value. So we'll go and run that query. So remember, 20 million transactional records are sat in SAP HANA. It returns the results very, very quickly for us. And what we can do is just turn this into a chart to make it a little bit more meaningful. So I'd like to have a column chart with a line chart and have the measures across two axes. So we can start driving out analytics very, very quickly and easily through that universe layer into something like web intelligence, which allows our users interactive analysis. So it's that same universe object that we use in dashboards as well. So we've got an example just to show you on dashboards. So in the dashboards program, we build queries on top of that universe layer to get different subsets of data. We then bind that to the different components, such as the charts in dashboards, and then publish the dashboard. So this is an example where we're using a retail analytic view, which is using point of sale data. So again, 20 million or over 21 million business transactions, which we're reading from HANA. We'll just refresh the data, and again, it refreshes very, very quickly. So again, that universe reading from the SAP HANA database and then publishing that in some form of analytics, in this case through a dashboard with the different charts. So very, very quick and easy to get data into things like web intelligence and dashboards through that universe layer connected into SAP HANA. So one of the next reporting tools we're going to have a look at is Visual Intelligence. This is one of the tools that allows us to connect directly into SAP HANA without going through the universe layer. So Visual Intelligence is placed as a desktop data exploration tool. We can go and create ourselves a new connection. Again, all of the analytic views via the SysBIC schema in SAP HANA are available for us to use in Visual Intelligence or Visi. So I'm just going to get connected into my HANA database by just putting in my password. I'm going to use the retail analytic view, which is the same data that we saw in the dashboard a few moments ago. So it reads the data, it understands all of the fields that reside in that analytic view, and in the first instance I'd like to see, just in a basic column chart, the data by value and by country. And we can just toggle between the different types of charts to analyse that data differently. Let's maybe flip it into a line chart. I'm going to take the country out and maybe put the shop name in there, which actually relates to a city as well. One of the things that means we can do in Visual Intelligence nice and easily is convert that field into a geographical object. So we're going to say our shop name relates to cities. What the system will do where it can is a best guess of mapping the cities to geographical locations, and in some cases we can manage that mapping manually. If we click on OK, we then have some geographical charts available to us. So we'll choose this one here. I'm then just going to put the city into the chart, and then if we just focus on the UK and just zoom in, we can then see it starts to overlay the figures on top of the geographical locations. And this is a great way to start visualizing your data from SAP HANA very, very quickly and easily with that direct connection. Thanks very much for watching this video. Please ensure you visit our website to learn more about the AgilityWorks services and packages around SAP HANA, and also for further articles, blogs and videos.